Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma, also streaming on TikTok. That's right people, the tickety talk. Yeah, hi, doing the stream intro. What should I say? What should I say? Look at those eyes, aren't they gorgeous? Blooming Digital Chaos, Decan Heaven, welcome to the stream. We are going down to a trial chamber. And I can't really, you know what, I'm going to put these on my hotbar just in case things get hairy. But I can't think of much I need to do before heading down there. I'm just going to go grab some blocks to begin with this stream. We need blocks. Where's my guy? You're up here today. I check on this guy and I wonder, what's he been up to? I'll take a bit more food with me. If I can't open that... Oh, look at that. Yeah. Yeah, you leave it alone for long enough and something goes wrong. I have to come back and fix it again. Right, so in order to get to the trial chamber, we go off in this direction. That's correct. There should be a hole in the ground. Brilliant. Let's head down. Using my memory here, welcome to all the peeps tuning in on a Saturday morning. Gonna stream again, probably same time tomorrow morning. Oh no, if I do tomorrow morning, it have to be a little bit earlier. Yeah. That's a good point. I gotta lock that in. I'll have to lock in tomorrow's stream at some point. It'll probably be a bit earlier than today's, but morning streams on the weekend is the vibe that I'm going for. We'll be doing more of those. What time is it for me? It is 10:15. I've been awake since about 5 o'clock. I keep having these like once or twice a week, these nights where I just don't sleep well. I gotta figure something out. I gotta make a change. And yeah. So here we are, trial chamber. Here we are, a trial chamber. Yes. Probably want to pinch a few blocks for the area we're going into next. Maybe. Oh, I should have brought torches, but I've got an ender chest. That's got coal in it. That's got sticks. Yeah, I'll be all right. In fact, that's the very thing that I need. So let's go ahead and get on top of it. I do have coal, right? I do have coal. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Now, there's something very important that I've got to do at the beginning of today's stream. And that is sit back, relax, and drink my hot beverage, which is a very special hot beverage. Can you guess what it is? Iridescent Moons, thank you for subscribing. 3 piglets and a Coke. Glad to see you back. 30 months right there. It's the best one. It's the best one. Tea, Bovril. No. It's the best one, chat. They're very... Oh, that is... Oh, that's warming up my hands. Matcha! Says, hey, Taylor. You got it, matcha. Vodka! Yeah, just my morning vodka. My morning pint of vodka. Oh, that's delicious. That's absolutely delicious. Love it. I literally just want to sit here, listen to a sweet bit of Lord Leviticus. Some beautiful singing, you know. Some beautiful melodies. Warm my hands and say hello. So this is your entertainment now, just me here. Just standing here, alright? Did I hear vodka? You did, yeah. Is it the green kind or the brown kind? I wasn't aware there was a brown one. It's the green matcha. Oh man. Woo! Tastes so good. Tastes so good. It's real hot. Warming up my hands, warming up my body. You always have matcha cold. Nice. I had some of those cold matcha lattes when I was out there, like a Starbucks one. Probably had loads of sugar in it, but dang, it was good. It was good. You going to drum practice for your band? Awesome, man. Keep up the drumming. That's awesome. You never understood the matcha craze. I've never really been a fan of green tea anyway. Oh, it's not green tea. Matcha isn't green tea. Matcha is a tea leaf that is green. You don't want to get them twisted. I wouldn't say matcha is a craze. Basically, matcha, I've explained it several times now, but you have five like taste bud senses. And in the Western diet, we have sourness, saltiness, bitterness, and sweetness, I think, are the four. We don't have this fifth one. And in Asia, like the matcha plant has the fifth sensation. So for me, I'm like loving it because I've been exposed to it and I like how it tastes and it's different from anything I've had. It's really strange because it's got this kind of like bitterness up front, but then it like turns into a sweetness. But that's like an approximation for it. Oh man, I'm just gonna sit here, chat, and enjoy every slurp of this, because if I put it down and do stuff, 5 minutes will go by and it'll be cold. So I'm just gonna really enjoy this. Umami. Now, chat corrected me. Is it umami? Chat corrected me last time I tried to pronounce it. Does anyone know Dungeon Rampage? It releases on Steam today. I don't. Games come out all the time. All the time. I swear, when I was a kid, like... Well, I know this. I don't know proportionally how much, but there are so many more games. We are living in, like, peak gaming these days. So many more games coming out all the time. You mammy, says more. You mammy. That's the one. Oh man, this is so good. Hi, it's Amelia, says, I had the best green matcha chai tea until the brand decided not to make it anymore. This is one of those things with products over time. They go out of production. I've had a few treats and things that I buy that have gone out of production. Yeah, music is the same as gaming. Always lots and lots of that coming out. So one thing I used to eat with these grenade bars, I really don't have them anymore because they're basically chocolate bars. The mint one's great and the Jaffa Cake one's great. Those have been around for a long time. They used to do a white mocha chocolate and I loved that, man. That flavour hit so good. But then they stopped making it and it was like, oh... Doomed Notch talking about our conversation from the other day about movies getting more violence. In the 50s, there was an act in place that prevented anything inappropriate from showing in film, called the Hays Code. Interesting. Yeah, there's always been not only cultural bars that change over time, but like legal ones as well, I guess. Was I more of a Pokemon kid or a Mario one? Neither, really. I mean, I played both when I was a kid, but I never really identified with it much. In the 70s, the Hays Code was abolished, and so films become more violent, etc. Oh, okay. I have heard people reference the 70s as the decade where, like, movies. It's some sort of slanderous term against it, you know, like. Heard it implied that way. That makes sense. Still love 90s films personally. I think they express more emotion and feel. Just me? There's definitely... I think there's two things there. One is quite possibly like me. You grew up in the 90s. You're attached to that kind of tone and feeling. But there was a space in the 90s for movies like Forrest Gump. And there isn't really much of a space for that these days, it feels like. I'm almost done, by the way. Cuplex says, careful, you're showing your age. I know I'm old. I'm fine with it. Tree Fixin', thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate it, my dude. Appreciate it. We're almost done here. I'm really glad we actually just sat down and had a chat and enjoyed this. All right, I'm done. Oh, so good, so good. You imagine me with a mustache. I've never done the mustache. I don't like how the mustache looks, really. I mean, on me. You know, I don't mind if someone else wears it. You know, you do you. But for me, mustache, not my thing. Smokey says, nah, you're still a young'un. We'll see. You've been binge watching Hermitcraft since season 5. Thanks for watching, dude, man. That's awesome. Love to hear it. Wouldn't mind fetching a few more bulbs while I'm down here. Hey, it's Efo! Happy birthday, mate! I love Hermitcraft, says Azza. Me too, man. Me too. You know, I'm not entirely sure what that face means, but it's definitely unimpressed. It's an unimpressed face. Didn't we used to do that? Oh my god, we used to do it with Phenomen. I bet many communities have had that joke where you just pretend it's someone's birthday all the time. But Phenomen here on Twitch, we used to have a joke like that. Every time Pheno was here, I'd just say happy birthday to him, and then loads of people in chat would say happy birthday. It was good times. By the way, those are the blocks that I'm here for. I've got to make lots of statues today. Oh shoot, am I recording a time lapse right now? I am. That's okay. I didn't exactly start it at the right time, but it'll have everything I need in it. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. You're only 10 minutes late. You missed me drinking hot matcha latte. It's, you know, it's the highlight of the stream. You may as well not bother watching the rest, to be honest. If you've missed the matcha latte, well, what's the point? What's the point, they say? You forget things due to old age, X, is Just V Magic. I forget things. Oh my god, oh my god. I have to tell you the story now. I have to tell you the story. So, let out a sigh, let out a sigh. So, Thursday, I mean, as soon as I start telling you this story, you probably know where it's gonna go. You're probably gonna suss it out pretty quick. You're gonna be like, I know where this is going. Thursday, right? I'm going to a gig in London, okay? This is the band Sabaton. Right, I like Sabaton. They're a great band. I brought a ticket to that show, having seen them a few times already, in a bit of like a moment of feeling like I needed to get back to going gigs. Right? Like, I used to go to gigs at least once or twice a month. And then the pandemic hit, it changed things. And I've slowly just gotten back into it and realized that my habits have changed because of that. So I went, you know, when it like dawned on me, I went and brought a bunch of tickets for shows. And there wasn't a crazy amount of choice. And I was like, Sabaton, yeah, we'll go watch Sabaton. And then, since I got that ticket, lots and lots of other stuff got announced. And I've been going to loads and loads of shows. And I've been looking at that one and thinking, I'm not that enthusiastic about seeing them again. I put my ticket up for sale. No one brought it. And maybe I would have lowered the price and taken a bit of an L. But I couldn't resell it again. Apparently, Ticketmaster only lets you do it one time. Anyway. So the day comes around. That day was Thursday the 4th, just 2 days ago. And because I'm not that enthusiastic about it, I'm not doing my usual thing of like constantly looking up information about the gig and planning it out in my head and like making sure I'm going to be there on time and stuff like that. So I head down into London to the O2 Arena, right? And before I left, I remembered to check my tickets, and it's like, oh, you have to get another app on your phone to get the tickets, right? And I'm like, another app? And I was like, I went here the other day, and I had to get a particular app to get my tickets. And now it wants me to get yet another app. It's a different app. Why have I got to get the O2 Arena app? Anyway, again, I'm not particularly engaged. I'm kind of like rushing. The key thing here is like your enthusiasm and engagement for something like gets your mind ticking over the details a bit more. So anyway, the whole time I've been picturing this show in my head, I've been picturing a different place. I've been picturing the OVO at Wembley and not the O2 Arena, right? And I have to walk around the corner and see the OVO Wembley and see it clearly not open, and then it clicks and I'm like, oh my god, it's not here, is it? It just dawns on me, this isn't the O2. It's not the O2 Wembley. This is the OVO. So, because in my head, I had sort of pictured, and I'm talking in months, like, the last time I went to OVO Wembley was to see Marilyn Manson. I was literally thinking, oh, you know, be coming back here to see Sabaton for long. And so it never set in. It never, like, sunk in that actually this is in a different arena. So I'd already planned it out in my head. I'd already figured out where I'm going and what time I'm going and stuff like that. And even though I had that, like, last minute check before I left of my tickets and it telling me to get the app for the O2 Arena, it didn't click. It didn't click. Like, the app, when you open it up, has a picture of the O2 Arena. Like, what is wrong with me, man? Oh, what am I like? Mario Manson. I didn't say that. I said Marilyn Manson. Come on. Come on. Yeah, so I went there, and then, you know, the first thing I thought, though, was, I was like, oh, you idiot. But, like, don't get too hung up on it, you know. Oh, wait, I've got to concentrate now. Mistakes happen in life, right? And it wasn't like this was the show that I've been waiting all year to see, or anything like that, you know? So, count your blessings. You're going to make a mistake every now and then. The trick is to try and not make it again. You know, do you remember I forgot my passport when going on holiday? I'm like, well, you know, this isn't the same, but, why? So did you make it in time to the O2 Arena, says Callie? Great question, because I opened my phone and I would have got to the O2 Arena about halfway through the show. Because I've been doing this thing lately where I haven't been going to watch all the support bands. I used to go and watch all the support bands, whereas I've been busy with like Hermitcraft and other things, and I've just like, for some of these shows, I'll check out who the support are. It might not be what I'm looking for. You know, I'll turn up a little later and watch the bands that I want to watch, right? I don't want to do that forever. Just right now, that's kind of where I'm at a little bit. I had no idea who the support for Sabaton was as well. I couldn't figure it out. Like, sometimes you go to websites and it tells you, or you go to the band's website and it's like on the tour poster. I had no idea who's playing with Sabaton. So, you know, I just went to see them, and unfortunately, the timing... Whoa, whoa, what? One of those got a bow. One of those has got a bow. Whew, whew. It's got a mean bow. It's got a mean bow. Yo, I got some decent enchants. Like, I'm better equipped than last time I was here, and that thing hit. Mono Z, Gothica Becca, thank you for 4 months, and more Tinelli, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. Thank you. There is a lesson to take away from this whole Sabaton shenanigan, though, and it is to enjoy the things that you're doing if you're doing them. What I mean by that is, now that I haven't gone, I kind of feel like, oh man, I would have had a good time, you know? I might have not been looking forward to it a crazy amount, but I would have had a good time. And a lot of shows that I go to, what I do is listen to the band's set list on Spotify in the days leading up to it. And I didn't do that either. Like, I need to revel in what I'm doing a little bit more, right? Be a little bit more connected. And then things like this probably wouldn't happen because I would catch it before, you know? What I want to do in this room is I kind of want to, like, run ahead and block off the lines of sight. But because they're skeletons, they make it super tricky to do that. Hmm. Can you like waste each other from my shield? There's a few too many skeletons here now. This is gonna get rotten quick. Although this is kind of working. Oh my god, they're down there as well. My shield is doing some work right now. It's doing the Lord's work, man. It's doing the Lord's work out here. That's the way to fight each other. If I could get back to what we were talking about. As you may know, if you listen to these streams, I am pretty, like, hard on myself and quite analytical about any shortcomings. And so for this shortcoming, it's like, if I'm doing something, I need to be invested in it so that I don't make silly mistakes like that, you know? Because you're more likely gonna mess something up or screw it up if you're less interested. You know? That's kind of my takeaway from that. You're unnecessarily hard on yourself, says Smokey. I have to be, man. That's how... I don't know, that's how you become a better you. Gotta learn from everything. Okay, so this one got blocked off, which means I can come back here again. We're actually at the top. That's good. Okay. I can get in here. I guess I can get some trial loot and stuff while I'm in the area. I'm in your area. Okay, there we go. But not the ominous stuff. I haven't even done a tiny bit of ominous yet. Let's see what we get from this thing. Ooh, honey bottles. Do you know what I need? I need bundles, man. I need a bundle up in here. Look at this inventory. It's disgust. It is absolute disgust. Unbreaking 2. I could probably chuck some of this stuff away. Yeah. Right. So I've got to be careful as I make my way down, but I can do this. Grab some of this stuff again. If you're wondering why I'm not getting this, it's because it's kind of like less of my time, if that makes sense. But I definitely want to pick up the bulbs. Right. Look! You cheeky. Absolute cheeky. Now you're in a hole. So that was that one there. Now, when I jump down on it, I'm pretty sure we might be activating more below, but not right now. Do I like ketchup? No, I was talking about this the other day. I'm not a big fan of ketchup. It's really, like, uninteresting. I mean, I like tomatoes. I like tomatoes in cooking. I just think as a dip, ketchup is, like, really plain. You know? What's been one of my favorite moments so far in the season? I've had quite a few. I've had quite a few. I think it's I'm never really good at picking out, like, you know, top 10s and favorites and stuff unless it's about music. It's the vibe. I like the vibe of this season. I like the vibe a lot. I will take that, and I might ditch the water bucket. Right, so as we head down, this is where it might get a bit risque. Ooh, it's dark now. But so far, so good. Get that? I felt like I didn't pick that up. Kind of felt like that with the last one, too. There's just so many little extras in this game now, right? I think I'll probably leave the bucket behind, actually. There's some stuff in my inventory I can throw away. Yeah, I don't think... maybe we'll go down to the bottom here. It's behind us down... Oh no, this is it. Oh well, I'm glad I checked. Also, I'll take those. Yes, please. Alright, we're in business again. What brand of ketchup? Oh, any. Just any. Like Heinz is the sort of gold standard here in the UK, but any. Like, any restaurant, you know, you get some chips or whatever with your meal. I never touch the ketchup. So plain. Mixed with sriracha is damn good. Yeah, imagine mixing it with something will probably make it a little more interesting. But yeah, like I'm not big on being all opinionated about stuff I don't like, right? So I'm not that opinionated about ketchup, but it's just one of these things that I just don't seem to care much for. It really doesn't do much for me. Heinz ketchup is so sweet. Ah. Now you got me thinking, like, I don't feel like I get a sense of sweetness from ketchup. But then again, it's like, when was the last time I had some? Because I always avoid it. Yeah, you know, a lot of stuff that we have in has a lot of sugar. I really like cooking myself some stir fry. And I kind of thought about it a little bit when I was buying some sauces online from this Chinese place, and it got me thinking, like, there's probably a lot of sugar in this stuff, right? I'm pretty sure all of those, like, sweet and sour and hoisin and all those other Chinese sauces, I'm pretty sure they love their sugar. You hate it when there is sugar in peanut butter. Like, why is it so sweet? Yeah, I used to have all the sweet peanut butter growing up, and now you can get like the more Whole Foodsy type stuff. What do they call it? Whole Earth or something? You know, they market it itself with no added sugar and all of that. And it's quite a big difference. It is quite a big difference. But it makes you notice just how much sugar is in everything. What veggies do I put in my stir fries? Like it's lots of chopped up bits. Bean sprouts would be a big one for a stir fry, right? But any type of vegetable, really. Bell peppers, mushrooms can go in them. They add chemicals instead, lol. The problem with that is that an apple is nothing but chemicals. Like, chemical is... I know what you're trying to say, but, like, chemical is actually... Everything food is chemical, right? Like, what are we saying? Added ingredients, synthesized stuff. Okay, we can do that. Yes, we can. Bell peppers are so good. They are. However, I find that the red ones are the best, and yellow and orange are not quite as flavorful. Green's also really good, but green is not for putting in a salad. Green is for cooking. Callie says, "Speak for yourself, X. I get my energy entirely through photosynthesis." If only, right? You recently stopped eating sugar? It's like a drug for the brain. Maybe not for the brain. What I would say is it creates like I don't know if hormones is the right word either, but like you have that body chemistry, right? Like your gut craves the sort of foods that you eat. So if you start eating salads and meat and veg and rice and potatoes like I do, you'll crave that stuff. Like I love a good salad. If I ate McDonald's all the time, I'd probably end up craving it at some point. So it's like that. It's it creates that connection, and then you want it over and over again. You tried doing that and you only lasted 3 days. Yeah, what I would recommend is not to try and quit it completely. Some people can do that. Some people have a lot of willpower and you can cold turkey stuff. But I would recommend that you just diminish the amount that you're consuming a bit at a time. Get used to having a bit less each week. And then when that feels normal, you know, you tone it down again. And slowly over time, you know, you'll gradually get used to having less sugar without particularly noticing it or it being too much of a thing, right? And then when you go and have something sugary again, you might be like, whoa, this is really sweet. Okay, that bundle is getting pretty full up. Pretty much there. We need another one, but we do have quite a few stacks of stuff. Now, I said that I had some things in this inventory that I didn't really want, so we'll get rid of them. And if we spam a few more torches, we'll fill up another spot. Right. Let's go get this stuff. What's this? What kind of parkour is it? Because if you know me, I'm not big on parkour. I'm not big on parkour. You know, I'm just not good with that kind of like repetition of an activity that's like, I guess it's weird because in Minecraft it's the equivalent of being physical, whereas IRL I don't mind that at all. Quite obviously, I do my reps, literally repetitions. I like with computer games. I like challenges that are a little more mental. I like a puzzle. I like doing Redstone because that's basically a make it yourself puzzle. That's just the way my brain works. Parkour, it just winds me up. Oh, I'm terrible. I know. Hermits hyping hermits. That's a great alternate name. Who are we hyping today? I haven't fully been reading chat because I've been waffling. And I got noises in my ear, and I've got another chat on the other screen. It's a training course. The frog lights near your base. I didn't like parkour before, but it gets more fun the more you try it. I get that. It's something you can get stuck into. I totally get that. I think Metro Mayhem gave me quite a lot of joy last season because, you know, it was happening on Hermitcraft. It was a cool mini game. Like, there was a strong incentive to play it, and then once I started seeing that time go up and just having fun with it, really, I could kind of lock in and stuff on that. That was good. We'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. I'm just... I can see myself, you know, being like, giving it a couple of tries and then being like, I'm done. That would be very me. Trust in the EFO parkour sensei. I must trust. I must trust. Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it, because I'm pretty much done here, right? Like, I think there's another area to glean a bit more of this stuff, but I got what I need for now. Will we get something cool on the way out of here? That's actually a pretty cool book, but, you know, Impulse has got us covered on that front now. Thanks, Impulse. Ruining my loot experience. Right, out of here we head. Let's go ahead and finish this, and I'll label it a trial chamber. I'm making a few little time lapses for the end of my episode. I must have spent about 4, maybe not quite 4, more like 3 hours. Is there any stuff here that needs taking back? Actually, I probably left them here because they're for the trial chamber. I must have spent about 3 hours between today and yesterday doing Redstone, right? And it's because I have a contraption, I have an idea, I have a concept. It works, it's good. But then when I come to build it here on Hermitcraft, I'm squeezed into a particular location because you don't get to plan every little detail of the stuff you want to do that far ahead. And I can't fit it in. And it makes the redstone that I had really difficult to work with. Ah, this is so annoying, right? And I spent hours and I just got really locked in. And I forget, I do this a lot, like you get really locked in on that problem and you forget to take a break. Because when you take a break, your brain kind of resets and thinks about things from a different perspective. And this morning I woke up and I just realized there's another way to do this. And then I spent like an hour doing the redstone, making it work. You know, finding those little edge cases and flaws and getting rid of them. I've completely forgotten why I started telling you this. Completely forgotten. The iron farm works, by the way. Now, sometimes they spawn inside... Yeah, like that. What's that about? That's your life, homie. Speed this painful process up. Oh, how do you like my donkey, by the way? Oh, and Etho, if you're still watching... Look. I'm going to see if my chat... Who gets it first? Hermit's in-game or chat? How, says Etho. Etho spotted it. Nothing gets past Etho. I got one of those copper saddles. Uh-huh. Yeah, one of those. Yeah. Copper saddle. You know what I'm talking about. Oh my god. Let's dump. I think I can do this for everything. No, I can't do it for bulbs. Bulbs on in the system. In fact, a lot of the copper stuff... Actually, I don't know. I think all the fully stuff, all of that should go through just fine. Anyway, anything that doesn't will come out the other end. That sounds weird. Sounds very weird. Yeah, I think I'll do the last of it manually. Let's pick those back up. I love bundles so much. Can't believe I resisted them. What an idiot. Right. Right, we're going to go do parkour. Parkour! Yo, Anthurium21, thank you for subscribing. On the Fritz, thank you for gifting a couple of subs. Much appreciated, my dude. We have Pepperdog and Celestaria18. If you just heard your name, be sure to say thanks in the chat. Be sure to say thanks. Right, let's go down here. Oh yeah, donkey. Okay, so we've seen tons of custom stuff this season, right? The saddle, I haven't renamed it. That points to the asset. The asset is a different texture for the saddle. If we open up model applier, actually no. What do I want to do here? Slot applier. I guess it can't harm because I'm not holding anything. I think equipment model shows you that you can do saddles, you can do heads, chests, legs, feet, and then the body slot of something that isn't the player. These are just some of the things you can customize. So I think I was with Ren the other day and I like really didn't want to get our donkeys modeled up. So I put a bunch of stuff in here like chicken or whatever to say it's mine. And then it just got me thinking like, what if you can change the saddle? Turns out you can. What I really wanted to do, what you can't change, is the chest. I would have actually preferred to keep the saddle the same and have a copper chest on it. But that's not a thing you can do. Can you animate it too? Now that I am not sure about. I'm going to shoot Hoffen a message immediately. I'm pretty sure the answer is no, but that's interesting. Let's make sure I word this question intelligently. You see, my gut says probably not, but if it supports that, I forget what the file's called. It might be like MC Meta. They sit next to texture files in the resource pack, and they basically like define the frames from the image. So if it supports that, then the answer is yes, and that is a very cool answer. Right, I'm gonna switch to standing because my body is like, stop sitting. I don't know how to describe it, but like when I am normal, I'm quite like energetic, and something about just sitting and not moving around and being lethargic, I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I'm like the worst person to watch a movie with because I don't want to sit down all the time. I just want to start getting up and moving around. It's like, oh, can we pause it and go for a walk? What is wrong with you? Watching a movie? I don't do that. I like no, you know, don't make it someone else's problem. But when I'm on my own time, dang, I just need to keep moving. Speaking of moving, we're here to play Parkour. Yeah, this is I spotted this from a distance, so I was pretty sure I knew where to go. There was also like this really tall bamboo over here the other day, and I spent ages trying to jump on it from my donkey. and then the donkey's health got like really low, and I was just like, this is so stupid, stop doing this. Right, I've lost my fence post. I never picked it back up. That's okay, because we've got these. Also, I really don't need that on the hotbar. Parkour! Now, there's a bed here. I'm going to use it just in case I die, I guess. Alright, so this is the Parkour training course number 1. You got to ring the bell. Do bells interact like target blocks? Probably not. That missed anyway. Right. Huh, 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 huh. Whew. Oh god, I'm starting to feel tense. First jump from here. Second jump at the ledge. Wait. 4-block jumps are much easier if you can jump twice. Don't pause between the jumps. Is this like saying... Oh, then I walked off the edge. That's what it was saying. Now watch me fail miserably. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm locked in. Oh, made it. That's interesting, actually. Like, understanding the sort of distance between a couple of blocks to keep your rhythm. Do 3-block up 1 jumps the same way as 4 blocks. So do I just start here? 1, 2, yeah, there's 3 and then that. So like jump. No, that was that wasn't quite it. There we go. Oh. Yay! Woo! Ring the bell! Ring the bell! Ah. Oh. Oh well. I'm assuming there's frog lights here because I've noticed other people keep getting the achievement for it. One thing I would say is I reckon, Etho, you should keep this in some capacity. Maybe find a permanent location for it. Maybe even dress it up a little bit. I don't know. But you know what? People disagree on this. I fall in the camp. Wait, am I reverse parkour? Oh, dang it. Well, I said it and then I failed. It was reverse parkouring. I am in the camp of preserving stuff. So, like, some people like doing things temporary and then changing them. Like, you put up a building, it's part of a storyline, you tear it down. My brain doesn't like that. I don't do those sorts of things. So I always gravitate towards, like, preservation. So I see something like that, and if I know it's temporary, I'm like, oh, we could move it somewhere else and keep it. But, like, sometimes I think the point is for other people. Dang it, I forgot my donkey. Sometimes the point is to make it temporary, right? Like, that's the point. So, yeah. New invention, reverse parkour. Actually, I have been parkouring through my own base. There isn't, like, where I'm currently building and working, there isn't, like, a proper path to places. So I find myself, like, jumping down onto redstone and falling. And because I've done it loads of times when I'm traversing the area, I found a way down where you sort of hit the ground, but you don't take damage. Whoa! They shouldn't be spawning. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold your donkeys, hold your donkeys. Hold up, hold up. They should not be spawning. So, like, I can't see what it is for me. That should be... Maybe it's the wrong way around. Maybe I typed true as if disable it, but actually it's supposed to be false. That's a good point. I think if you interpret the text, phantoms spawning, that is something they are doing. It should be false to turn them off. Okay, are they frog lamps or lights? Right, I want to put a couple of those into there because they're useful. Oh, thank you, Etho. Who's, I don't think, watching anymore because I didn't see that bit. Okay, there we go. 10 of those, that's probably too many. That is probably too many. I only need really about 4. G'day, Xisuma. Hope you're having a great day, says Wolflings. Thank you, my dude. I'm having an alright day. Wow, that's cool. Trapdoors on the copper bulbs look awesome. Oh yeah, over here they do look good, didn't they? I like that look. There's a little bit of 3D-ness to it as well. Right, we got to go work on the Mumbo Jumbo Warehouse. I thought calling it the Jumbo Warehouse would be kind of fun because it's going to be pretty jumbo. We got some stuff to do while we're over there though, so I need to grab these unwaxed blocks as it goes, and then I guess I'm going to be scraping a lot of this stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Right, so those materials, I need to get more pumpkins. That means I need to take a trip and get my axe for that. And then I think that's kind of it for now. I think that's kind of all I need in that area. Right, we don't have this going. We need to get that going again in a minute. Right, the Caesar, thank you so much for 62 months. Hey X, keep up the amazing work. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate you supporting the channel. And I am going to nip to the loo. What's on the screen? Okay, yeah, we'll leave that on the screen. Yeah, I'm going to just be a moment, and then I'll be right back, people. Don't go anywhere. I'm back. Degley says might as well plug the server while we wait. Hey, any mods in chat that want to line us up with the chords and the description and all that stuff, that'd be awesome. Oh, false. If you're listening, if you wouldn't mind passing that on to the mods, that'd be amazing. I'll make a note anyway. I'll just shoot that on after. I've made a note as well. I mean, there's no urgency. Oh, false. Sorry, I didn't read it out loud, did I? I read it to myself from my mod chat. My mods let me know that the phantom spawning thing isn't working, so I figured pass it on to the modder channel, but then I can do that. I'll just do it after stream. Right, let's get back to it. See how my brain works? Actually, that is something that I struggle with a lot in life. I've always struggled with it, and it frustrates me that being aware of it and trying to work on it, it's still an issue that I have. In communicating with other people, I really have a hard time with understanding the difference, like the knowledge gap. So when sometimes I talk to people online and in real life, it happens as well. And it's like, I know what's going on with a situation, and I start talking about it to someone, and they don't know what on earth I'm on about. And it's like, the gaps of information that I should know that someone else doesn't know, it just, my brain just doesn't figure it out. I don't know what it is. It's a continual annoyance. Theory of mind, or whatever that's called. I'm not sure I've heard that before. I mean, I've heard the saying theory of mind, but I wouldn't have thought it was related to what I have. It's just like, you know, if you go talk to someone about something, you have an idea in your head of what they know about that thing. And we will all have, you know, varying degrees of understanding about what other people know. But I seem to just go into explaining or talking about something that's going on, and my brain is just treating it as if the other person is on the same level of information as me. And I should know, like, I should assume they know nothing to begin with at the very least, and then think about it. But yeah, anyway, it's just an annoying thing that I do. It annoys the heck out of me. Because I seem to just understand after the fact, not before it. Always after the fact. Yo, Brooksy96, thank you for 92 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Evil X in the his house. Let's get an animation going right there. Appreciate your support, my dude. Bert says that's not an uncommon thing. People do it all the time. I do. I get that. I do it in a really bad way, though. Like, I mean, it's, like, really obvious that I need to explain something. And in hindsight, I'm always like, how do I not notice that beforehand? It hasn't happened that recently, so I don't have, like, a fresh example in mind. But, yeah. Anyways, I got a little story that I wanted to tell y'all about. Kind of like a little bit of an update on an old story. And I've been meaning to tell this story for months. And I almost told it the other day on stream. And I got distracted or sidetracked or side quest, whatever we're calling it now. Yeah, it's really weird. I just keep getting distracted. Well, that works. Good. So, I'm going the wrong way. Let's go the right way. So, do any of y'all remember me talking about having computer troubles last year where it wouldn't turn on, and I took it to the repair shop and they turned it on, it was fine. I took it home, turned it on, it was fine. And essentially it won't turn on, but the way to get it turned on is to shake the computer. Right? Now that sounds bizarre, but what it is a loose connection. So this started happening again, right? The theory was in the winter, the temperature changes and components loosen or whatever inside of the computer. So they get into a bit of a different position. Summer comes round, it heats up, things expand or whatever, and it's in a better position, and so I don't have an issue through the summer. Well, it comes back around, and this time, okay, I've gone through a really crazy... Wait, when did I start that? Let's do it again. Okay, there we go. I've gone through like a bit of a crazy trial and error routine. And in doing this, I have determined, or narrowed it down, or however you want to word it. Like, I've refined the whole thing now so that in the morning, I can flick the switch on the back of the computer off and on and press the power button quickly, and it will boot up. Brilliant. Computer's running. That's great. Middle of the day, I tend to have to open the case, turn the power off at the back, wiggle one particular cable that connects to the motherboard, and it has a weird feeling like it can set in two different positions. I just give it a quick wiggle, turn it back on, then press the power button, and it boots up. Right, and this is so predictable and reliable now. It's kind of crazy that I can just do that. So I don't have any trouble getting this thing to boot up. There's always a little thing in the back of my mind of like maybe today's that day where you can't get the computer started, but it's been like this for months now. It's been like this for months. And there's one exception, which is on occasion, and it tends to happen if something in that process fails. Like I forget to do it the particular way, or maybe I open the case, wiggle the cables, and it doesn't actually turn back on. It does this other thing where my USB switch, which switches the mouse and keyboard between multiple computers, that thing will sort of ignore my computer. And then what I have to do is I have to trial and error reboot it multiple times while I also wiggle some of the USB cables at the back as well. And then eventually it recognizes it again. It's really strange stuff, but it's like, it's weird but predictable. It's like I've got these two problems and I don't entirely know what they mean. But at least now I kind of understand how to get the computer going every day. It's really strange. We're going to use a little bit of a cheaty free cam. You know I'm not a fan of using this, but the philosophy is to use it as little as possible, and when I do use it, it tends to be for more technical stuff. Right, like I just wanted to check that I am at the correct height here, because we're going to be digging out a large area. Ooh, I like those. I'll take that. That's more quirky than old TVs that would zap you if you touch them and you need to slap them to get a clean signal. They zap you because they're not grounded, right? I remember that. When I was a kid, I used to go to my grandparents and they had a TV that had an aerial, and I used to have to like wiggle it a bit and stuff to get it to work. I remember watching The Office Christmas specials when those aired on that. Wow, that filled up real quick. Let's go drop some of this stuff off, actually. Xisuma's free cam, or as you like to call it, X-ray. Xisuma's free cam, yeah. Oh, I see what happened there, okay. Well, luckily we've got some storage in the area. And you know what? I'm gonna use these ones for bulk. These ones for junk, because they've already got junk in them. And then I kind of want one, yeah, I want to put all of that together in one. And then we're going to store all of that stuff in there. Look at this, lovely clean inventory. It's just a spyglass. I wish the spyglass could fit in a regular bundle and be treated like a one thing. They zap you due to static electricity buildup. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but if it's grounded, that doesn't happen? I don't know. I'm not an electrician or anything. I knew it had something to do with static, but yeah. Right, noises in the air. I can't remember which ones we've read. Nightfallen, thank you for 11 months. One more month to the 1-year anniversary. Also, Spotify Rap came in and you're my top #1 artist. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Love to hear it. I'm glad you've been enjoying the music, man. My plan is to get back into writing sort of, I don't know, a few months into next year. When I started writing again last year, I thought I was like, this is it. I'm going to just keep going until I get an album out. And then I kind of realized, yeah, it doesn't quite work like that, does it? You know? So I've got to get back into a rhythm where I'm doing like creative stuff with music. And then the songs will come. They will come. I've already got a couple of them. Hold on, you make music? Yeah, man. I'm a music man. Like this is my soul right here we're talking about. What buttons do I have to click on here? So that one? Yeah, there you go. Soulside Eclipse. Go check it out on YouTube and Spotify and Bandcamp and all the places where you get your music. I think. You can get the album everywhere, but demos are mostly just on Spotify and YouTube. I've made one Dungeon Synth album back in 2010, and then in 2023 I finally got the Soulside Eclipse first record put together, and I'm currently writing songs for the second one. Not this moment, but like I wrote 3 2/2 maybe in the summer, and yeah, I'm so happy with them as well. Like. You need me to make more epic boss fight music. So, like, one of the songs that I haven't finished is very boss fighty. It's wild because it's so energetic. It starts off with this like really kind of like misty, esoteric kind of, I don't know, like gentle melodies and acoustic guitars, and very quickly it just like glances through some melodies, and then gets into this like synth with this this little melody that speeds up. I was messing around with tempo, and it was like, this is cool when it just starts getting faster and faster. So I was like, let's rock and roll, let's go with that. This melody gets like faster and faster, and then it like really starts to build up this energy, and when the energy pops, it absolutely slaps. It absolutely slaps. And then from there, I just keep it going. I just keep this high intensity energy, and I haven't finished writing this song because it's kind of weird for a song to just continuously ride on a high. And I'm not sure if I should pursue that as like, this should be the song, or if I need to like throw in some dynamics and like get it to come to a calmer place. Because it's really weird writing music. It's like, you try and get all inspired and worked up by the music, and then you start improvising, and in that sensation, your improvisation like clicks into place, and you find the next place it goes. But I haven't settled on that with this though. I've like found things where it keeps that high energy going, but I'm also thinking like, what if I find something that clicks at like a lower energy? Is that what I want? I kind of don't know what I want with it, but I love how it starts. Such a wild little trip. Is it still rock music? I don't write rock music. I write intense metal. Right, let's keep the digging going. What program do I use to make music? Great question. So I have 2 writing environments, and no, actually, I've got like 2 main things that I use. They're kind of different, right? And I've also started to introduce a third one that uses a lot of music theory, but I didn't really get to do a lot of it in the summer. I used it to goof around with a few ideas. That one's more useful for like writing stuff for less inspiration driven, more utility, if that makes sense. Like if I were to write things for other people, I would use that software. But anyway, so I use Guitar Pro, which is essentially composing in MIDI, which means notation, tablature, and score. You know, all the dotted line, sorry, the straight lines with the clefs on them and stuff. Right, I use that. That's where I write all of my from the heart, pure inspiration music, the stuff that you hear on my records, my main one. Then I also use Fruity Loops, and that's where I do all of my like more electronic-y genre tinkering stuff, you know. Songs like the Negative Civilization and Stellar Ascension were written mostly, well, exclusively in Fruity Loops. It's a different type of like composing and experimentation and stuff that you're doing. So with Guitar Pro, it's classical. It's like you're writing score for the instruments and then hearing it back later. Whereas with Fruity Loops, there's a lot more tinkering with aesthetics as you go and sound design and stuff. And I like both. They're both very different. And I've got tons with Fruity Loops. I tend to write tons of stuff that never gets finished. And with Guitar Pro, I write lots of stuff that never gets finished, but like, I'm very capable of writing a song to conclusion with Guitar Pro. What's my writing process? Lyrics first or pitch melody first? My writing process has nothing to do with lyrics. It's always playing guitar. Sometimes I like goof around with a bit of a drum beat and then jam along to it, but it's always just riffing on the guitar and starting there. Actually, not always. Like sometimes I'll do some stuff with the keyboard and synths, but it's like instrument, just jamming on an instrument and then taking it from there. You know, you get a beat going, you get a cool chord progression, or you got a riff on your guitar, like, and then the brain just starts ticking over and you add stuff to it and build it up. I just noticed my pick is getting quite worn out. Do you know what I usually do when I'm digging like this? I get my fortune pick and I put the other pick there. Like that. Now, here's where it's going to catch me out, because now... I haven't broken... I immediately regret saying this out loud, because now it happened. I haven't broken a single ender chest yet. It always happens at some point, but not yet, not yet. Hey, Pepper Dog, glad you like my music, man. Thanks for saying that. Have I seen that video about how rock and metal without reverb or something? Sounds like surfer rock. I don't think I have, but the thing about like music is a lot of it can be transposed to different aesthetics and styles quite easily. I'm sure you've probably seen those videos of people like redoing songs in other genres. Like a lot of music can be quite relatable in that way. You've been using Reaper as your DAW for editing audio for your projects. It's quite nice, but a bit of a learning curve. I tried to use Reaper back in the day, but it was just too complicated. The thing with FL Studio is that it's gotten significantly better over time, and it's much more like air quotes respectable. But what I like about it is just the plug and play aspect. You know, I don't feel like I want to learn a suite of tools to like properly produce. I feel like I just want to throw stuff together and have fun, and Fruity Loops makes that very accessible. Will I stop moving soon because I have oxidized? I don't think I'm going to turn into a statue. That would be counterproductive, right? Oh, did we just run out of beacon range over here? That's kind of a cue for me to stop digging in this area, I think. Although what I did want to do was run across looking upwards to get more height. However, I don't know how much height we actually want and need. I sent Mumbo a little design the other day for this, but he didn't get back to me because I've been kind of holding off from doing this until he's seen the design. But I tell you what, I think that height is good enough for my design, so let's trim out this little bit here and call that the edge in this direction. I did spend a significant amount of the stream standing still drinking matcha. I spent about 10 minutes doing that. So if you want to math that out for a 2-hour stream, how much that is, there's a percentage there. You still stand by your opinion that a stream where you just stand there with F5 without talking or moving once you fully oxidized would be absolute peak? I think if there was a reason to, like let's say something big happened in the world and I wanted to have like some conversation about it, like we could do that. That'd be funny. Yeah. For those who are ill-informed, Fruity Loops is a computer program, not the serial. Yep. Am I building Mumbo's storage system? No, I think Mumbo's building his storage system. You had an alarm going off for 20 minutes because you were locked into watching. Dang. I hope it wasn't an out loud alarm. That would be alarming. See what I did there? That's so clever, wasn't it? So clever. With the puns, with the puns. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Place this down here. Yo, Turing, my dude. Thank you for the raid, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for bringing your peeps by. Yeah, let's pop down here. Over there. Put some things in the chest. Throw your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. Right. New conversation. Give me something. Give me something different. What's next? What are those eggs? They're from chickens. Stranger Things, have you watched it? Yes, I have. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, here's a little thought from Stranger Things, okay? In the beginning of the new season, spoiler alert, hashtag not really a spoiler. Not really a spoiler. Because this is literally the opening scenes, right? You see Will as a kid, right? And it's the kind of thing that they could have already filmed. It's almost like it could have been a scene. You know how they chop in lots of scenes from the past when they're doing their exposition stuff to like give you the context and remind you. It's like it could have been one of those, but they just didn't film this bit when he was a kid, right? So they used another child actor. Now, part of me thought, why didn't they use AI? They totally could have done de-aging on Will there, right? And then I was like, well, a lot of people, when you say AI, they start putting the puke faces into chat and stuff like that, right? There it is. No, not AI, says Avelian. Yeah, so like, it's just like, specific use of a particular type of AI, having an opinion on it, yeah, but like generally, a general reaction to any type of AI, I don't think that's particularly, I don't think that really means much. Anyway, so here's the thing. It's like, see what I mean? Ooh, gross AI, but it's like, oh, it's just become a buzzword and a catch-all, but like, it's more like it's a scale and a spectrum of different things, different applications, some stuff that's existed before ChatGPT, different types of AI, whatever. Anyway, so one of them is like visually de-aging actors. It's been in movies for a long time, but now it's crossed the threshold where, because of all this new video image generation AI, now the things are seen the same way. Anyway, so like, so I wondered if that's the reason why they didn't use AI and used a child actor that looks like him, is because they're going to take that like no AI stance, right? But the thing is, you know, okay, right, don't use AI, let's employ a child actor. What about Vecna? Is that guy not 100% AI? Right? Right? Like, do you know what I mean? These things are all intermingled and a little bit more nuanced and complicated. So it's like, I wondered if that's the reason why they didn't. See what I mean? Y'all are saying like CGI. Does Exor says CGI is not the same as AI. The AI thing is becoming this catch-all term. It's becoming like a generalized thing, and then people throw their hate at it. Like, the de-aging stuff is similar to CGI. You know, they're all like overlapping and stuff. There'll be plenty of generative processes in CGI to create those characters as well, you know? And it's on a sliding scale. Some stuff is more of one thing than the other, but like, it's just the way it gets talked about. It's like, it's just weird. People who demonize AI forget that it's now detecting major eye disease and disorders before even humans can in places like India. Yeah, it's also it gets used for scans a lot. Like, is it radiologist does a lot of scans on the human body to like detect disease, and like AI helps with that. It's like it's all over the place. It's not one thing. There's like lots of applications, lots of ways of doing it. It's a very broad technology, and yeah, this kind of like, if someone says AI and people go, ew, AI, ooh, it's like, it just feels really reductive. Like, now we're not really talking about anything. Large language models are not the same type as other types of generative programs. Exactly, yeah. There's a whole spectrum of stuff going on over here. You don't think it's a bad thing for people not to want AI usage? Yes, there's different types of AI, like in video games, but generative, like ChatGPT and OpenAI, is terrible for the environment. And all for people wanting to avoid it, you know? The more specific you get with your argument and your point, the more I can get on board with that type of communication. If you, like, you can... So, like, ChatGPT uses energy, but so does everything we do, right? Everything is tied to energy. Human progress is tied to energy. So, if you want to make the case that, like, ChatGPT is consuming a lot of energy and, you know, using it for, like, goofy questions or whatever, I don't know, fooling around on it, not a great idea. I'm with you on that. That's fair enough. You know, let's be mindful of how we use these resources, right? But then what about when you use it to do something productive that gives you that trade-off of like, well, now you don't have to do that other energy-intensive thing, because it's all tied together. Everything's got an energy cost on it, and like being concerned about the environment is a really good thing, of course. It's just like, some things just, they get sticky with your attention, and you might not realize that, like, okay, but like there's other stuff you might do. Like, what if it turned out that, you know, has anyone weighed up how much the gaming industry contributes to climate change? Because it will. Everything does, right? And if someone just finds a way to frame it that makes you uncomfortable, if they just put a number in front of you and you don't think about how it relates to other numbers, you might be like, oh, this is bad. And I picked gaming deliberately, not because I'm aware of some sort of impact the gaming industry has. It's just like, y'all are probably gamers, and we don't like hearing information that conflicts with our existing beliefs. It's like, as soon as it goes close to something that you really care about, it makes you think differently. So when these big studies like come out about things that are, you know, consuming energy, impacting the environment, I'm always curious how it like relates to other stuff that we haven't thought about. Because I remember the Amazon a few years ago, right? The Amazon was burning, and it just created this like big media attention around it all of a sudden. And then someone came along and pointed out that this year happened to be less burning than every year. Now, I'm not doing a contrarian thing here. I care about the Amazon. I think most of us do, and we don't want to see it burn down. But it just made me think, like, this caught our attention not because it reached a high or a critical mass or anything. There was some other reason, because this year is actually lower than it had been in previous years, and in previous years I wasn't even aware it was burning down. So it's like, information has this weird way of like quantifying itself not in relation to other stuff all the time. And so it can grab you emotionally, it can make you think about it in a particular way, and you got to remember to like try and weigh it up against other points. You study environmental science and geography, and I find it fascinating, says Starrose Gaming. Awesome, man. We need environmental science. I'm glad you're fascinated by it. That's cool. Yay, less burning. A rainforest should never burn at all. You say that, but some forests are forests that burn. And I don't think the rainforest is one. But like up in California, in that region, when you hear about the fires over there, part of the reason they're having trouble with the fires is because they've employed a policy of like managing them, which actually means they're not letting burns happen enough because it's a natural part of the forest cycle. You get all of this dry material building up, and the fire coming through and burning the forest is actually its way of like constantly getting rid of that stuff, and it's part of its actual natural cycle. A really wild thing, right? Australia is made up of forests made to burn. I don't know. I know very little about Australia's forests, but if you say so, yeah. Right, we got Vidots here for 31 months. Twitch recap told me I've watched exactly 100 hours of your streams this year on the dot, which feels about right. Here's to another 100 hours. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We got Nick Mackerel coming in with the Prime. Thank you for a Prime subscription, my dude. Much appreciated. There was a new Veritassium video about this phenomenon. Very interesting. Yeah, I loved that video. It was so good. It was about like having the bell curve distribution being very common, and then this other like, what do they call it? The linearity one. They actually compared it to like wealth among people. So like a bell curve distribution is an example of like averages of height would be a good one, right? You have outliers at either end, very tall people, very short people, and then most people converge around the middle. And then with other phenomenon in nature, it's this other type, this sort of aggressive linearity, or not linearity. What does it call it? A logarithm? You know, stuff keeps like doubling or 10xing, and that's actually how it works with wealth distribution on this in this society. But yeah, with stuff like forest fires. It's not a bell curve distribution. It's this other type of distribution, and they were explaining how the management of the forests leads to these bigger event burns or fires every so often. Am I playing on the server? I'm playing on the server, the one, the only. It's Hermitcraft, people. We're on it. We're on it right now. Anyway, I might have butchered that explanation of the Veritassium video, because if there's one thing I've truly learned, it's that to really know something, you have to be able to explain it. And watching a 30-minute video for me is not the same as properly learning something and understanding it. Those two are not the same. Positive feedback system. I'm not sure if it was that or not, but probably similar to it. I think they maybe described it as that as one point. Normal distribution and power distribution. So is the power distribution the one where like the wealthiest people are richer and richer and richer on that like exponential curve type distribution, right? Is that the one? You're really curious what I'm digging for. We're building the jumbo warehouse. That's what I'm digging for. I'm digging for meaning in my life. What? What was that? Just spoke without thinking. Should we take a trip to the end? Actually, no, let's not. I'm doing a little time-lapsey thing, so I kind of want to keep digging. These tools will keep going, right? These tools will keep going. Whew. Now we go back again. Oh, I was going to say, I thought that was 4 tall. I was going to say, I had a feeling I might break something else below me. Enderzella, thank you ever so much for 11 months. And Mand282, thank you for your support. Thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it, my dude. All right, next topic. Because I can't remember what started that, but we went all over the place. Was it Stranger Things? We were talking about the child actor in the beginning. That's how we got onto that one. Do I like Lord of the Rings? I do, and I wanted to rewatch it. I've started rewatching Breaking Bad now, so I'm gonna be doing that one. But I wanted to rewatch the Lord of the Rings movies, and I thought they would be on Amazon, but they're not. I think Amazon have the rights to just doing the new stuff, but they don't have the rights to the movies. I mean, I've got them all on DVD. I just can't be bothered to use a DVD player anymore. You know, you got to boot up the PlayStation. You got to put the disc in. You got to grab the controller. You got to wait for it to get to where it was before. I mean, how did I ever live in the past with all this waiting, you know? Do I think I will go to Australia? I would like to. I'd really like to go to New Zealand. There's a lot of places in the world I would like to go. I just don't know. I just don't know when and how that'll happen. First time you ever been able to catch a stream? Well, welcome, my dude. You went to a Lord of the Rings marathon at your local cinema recently. It was amazing. You see, I couldn't do that. I love the idea of seeing them on the big screen again. And I remember being... Okay, I got a little bit of a story for you. A little bit of a funny story for you. But anyway, like, as I said a while ago, like, I need to move around, man. I like my day being broken up. And, like, do you know what I'm going to do after this stream? Look, oh my God, I've been stood still for, like, an hour. I feel really weird. I'm gonna go for a run. Full of beans today, full of beans. Yeah, funny little story about Lord of the Rings. So when I was like young, when I was a teenager, I was a very emotional kid, but like I didn't really understand myself or what that was, or like have the tools to like reflect and all of that. Those things come with time and age, you know. So now I look back at stuff like this and I'm like, dang, like no wonder. Like, let me give you a couple of examples. So I remember seeing a frail... we're driving down, like, one of the main streets in town, and I look out the window and I see a frail old man walking around with, like, wobbling along with his walking stick. And I remember just welling up and feeling like crying. And I think that was just empathy. That was just, like, seeing an old man trying to get around, struggling a bit, and just feeling empathetic. But, like on steroids. Like my emotions would just like illuminate up, and they're still like that. I still have moments like that, but I've learned like what they are and how to like deal with them. Another one was listening to like Michael Jackson in my room, and then just get welling up on how amazing I thought the music was. I just couldn't believe how amazing Michael Jackson's music was, to the point I was almost in tears. Another one is when we left the cinema after the end of Lord of the Rings, and I started welling up. Like, and like, I wasn't telling anyone I felt this way. I felt like a freak. I was like walking out of the cinema and everyone's smiling and having a good time and talking about the movie, and I felt like crying. And it was just because the movie, something I'd really enjoyed, had come to its conclusion and it was over, and that sort of finality really kind of rocked me. And you know, once I got older and got wiser and smarter and started to realize, the end of things will make me feel this way, I then developed the tools in which to like deal with it in a way that doesn't take me by surprise and, you know, I can cope with or whatever. But the early hormonal rawness of strong team emotions is really crazy and beautiful, says Pius Moss. I wouldn't say beautiful, but definitely crazy and a bit wild. But yeah, definitely those raw teenage emotions for sure. And there's probably many more I could add to that list, right? But Lord of the Rings, the end of that was one of them. I always remember that, walking out of the cinema and just... The other thing was I didn't feel like I could talk about it to anyone. I was like, why is everyone so happy right now? The Lord of the Rings is over, man. It just concluded. There's no more. There's no more to the story. I didn't realize, you know, you'd be able to watch it over and over again and enjoy it many more times. That sense of finality, like, rocked me a bit. It was weird. And did you have some overly happy moments? That's interesting. As a teenager, I'd say probably not. No, I've never been one for like overly happy. Yeah, I want to think on that a little bit more. Nothing crazy springs to mind right now. But with friends, having those side-splitting moments of comedy and hilarity, man, me and my friends have so many of those. And I've been reliving some of them recently because started watching Bo Selector. It started with the Michael Jackson. Shamon, brother. The Michael Jackson character on Bo Selector is the most delightful thing ever. I swear. Like, I cannot help but get a smile when I see him like pop on the screen and start doing his thing. It is so funny. And I started watching the whole show again because of it, and just reminded of all these like stupid jokes that me and my mates used to rattle off at each other, and loads of like quoting the show. Like I got to season 2 where they bring in Ant and Dec, and I remember one of my mates used to love doing the Ant and Dec bit, and yeah, it's just taking me back to all those moments, and I love all of that. Craig David, yeah. My favourite Michael Jackson skit is the one where Craig David is in the hotel and Michael Jackson's there as well. And it's like he's on steroids or something. He's just going around, he's going, check my scooter, Martin, and all this. And he's got like, he's going around on a scooter and just making all his little hee-hee noises. Like, just so much more than usual. And he's just like this unbelievable, I don't know, like burst of happy energy. He's just out of his mind happy. Doing all his little MJ things, you know, walking around doing the dance moves. I just absolutely love that character so much. It's so good. It's so funny. Am I talking about the Sora AI, Michael? No, I'm talking about Bo Selector AI. That's an interesting thing about Sora, is like it creates, you know, Michael Jackson robbing chicken from you, which used to be something like me and my mates would goof around and talk about. Like, we'd always do like crazy scenario stuff where we would say like, oh, you know, imagine, not so much in these words, like we sort of have a language for just, we kind of talk to each other in that way where you know you're joking, and it's like, you know, Jackson just, you know, comes in and starts stealing all your chicken and calling you a vegetable or something, right? And then Sora generates those. Like, it generates them. And sometimes you would see those ideas in, like, parody shows or sketch comedy. Whereas now Sora generates it and it looks realistic. You know, you got Stephen Hawking racing down the motorway and you got the commentator going, oh, Hawking's going over 100 miles an hour. And it's like, it sounds like the voice. And to experience that before, it used to be like in a sketch comedy show or something like Bo Selector, right? But yeah, Bo Selector is a filthy show. The kind of show that would probably upset people today, you know, if it were just coming out, or if you went and watched it. It is full of filth, absolute filth. But the Michael Jackson thing is so good, and Craig David is another good one. Those two are really good. X, what about copper golems? Oh, you saw a video about using the golem as a doorman. You give him his key card and he opens the door for you. You thought it was amazing. That's actually kind of really similar to what I've done in my next episode. It's the same thing, just using them for interactions with Redstone. Yeah, my next episode we do more stuff with the golem again. Cowboy Chords coming in for 6 months. Thank you ever so much, my dude. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. This is a use of AI I don't like. It cheapens the joke. I stand by handcrafted memes and skits are simply better because they take effort. The problem with that is that AI keeps getting better and better, right? Like, they keep saying that thing is like, this is the worst it will ever be. So if you remember the Will Smith spaghetti thing, and then compare it to what Sora could do now for Will Smith, right? When I watch those Sora ones, though, currently, I think the first time you watch it, it's like, okay, it's kind of crazy, wow, it can do this now. You watch it a few more times, and you start to pick up on some of its rhythms and its beats. And you start to pick up on its structure a little. And in that, you notice some of the flaws as well. Like, some of them are really poorly executed, but it kind of just does enough to get your attention for 10 seconds and you get the joke, right? And that's where, like, people doing that will craft really great jokes and really good sketch comedy and parody and whatnot. But, you know, if you just look at where it was to where it is now, it keeps getting better, right? So, like, where's Sora 3? Where's Sora 4? It's going to be very fascinating to watch it evolve. Maybe it can start to bridge that gap up to where we are. You hear AI is going to bankrupt itself eventually. Let me tell you this. We're living in the day and age of opinions, where anyone can talk, including yours truly. And here I am just giving you my opinions. But, depending on where your algorithms on the internet lead you to, you can find all sorts of opinion on what's going to happen in the future of AI. Some people say it's going to be utopia. Some people say it's going to crash the economy. I think the future is yet to be written. And it can probably go in many different directions. But yeah, some of those opinions are doom and gloom. Some of them are doom and gloom. My personal belief, or based on all the things I've heard, so I'm not going to tell you this is what's going to happen. My best guess, I think there's going to be some sort of crash. I don't know who it's going to hit, but I think there's going to be some losers. And then I think the technology really matures and becomes ubiquitous in the future. Meaning, what's like the internet? We all know we had a .com bubble, right? Okay. So go put yourself back in that pre-crash moment and be someone calling the alarm bells. It's like, there'll be a crash, there'll be some losers, and then it'll become ubiquitous, like the internet did. It'll just become this big thing that everyone's using all the time and stuff, right? So there'll be a crash, but that won't be the end of it. And who the crash hits and who it affects, I'm not sure. I've heard some really interesting theories. One that I really liked was this idea that it might hit the biggest players because they're the ones that have done all the hard work and investment. And after they collapse, the technology remains and all the like smaller companies pick up the slack and they don't go crazy with it and just, you know, take it from there. That I find is quite an interesting one, because obviously these big companies are trying to be the first and capitalize on being the first, but history tends to show us that being the first isn't always a guarantee of being the monopoly after the fact. And this is one of those things with like hearing people talk in video essays and narratives, is they say stuff like that. They say stuff like, you know, name me a company that was there first and is now the biggest player in the game. And I'm like, all right, fair point, but like, how long did you spend thinking about that? How much research? Because there's a lot of companies. There's a lot of scenarios in which you can say who was first to this and did they create a monopoly or not. So like, sounds good. Sounds good as a soundbite. How true is it? Will it hold up? Not entirely sure. But you know, if you try and think of races that there's been with technology in the past, like the .com bubble is the recent one. Hex, are you trying to convince us to trust AI and go with it? No, I'm trying to, I'm trying to teach you to not put things into a little simple statement like that, is what I'm trying to teach you to do. I keep, when I go on these waffles, I keep trying to point out how complicated stuff is in real life, and how we just, as humans, constantly get pulled into these traps of simplifying and dumbing things down. I don't want you to, in your mind, trust AI. I want you to be really well informed about all the different places you interact with AI, and, you know, make sure you're understanding the decisions you're making and like the feedback loops and the interactions with them. Nothing's simple. Nothing's that easy. Nothing's, you know, like that. Life has way too much nuance to be able to make blanket statements. Exactly. That's it. That's a very solid point. People only remember the times that someone does get a monopoly because those that don't have often never been heard of. Exactly, yeah. There's like a bias to what we remember. And so like, you know, when someone says who in history was first to this technology and gained a monopoly, it's like, there's so many things you could apply that to. And did you study it and go through all of them? I don't know. I wanna know if there's an example of like, here's a monopoly over something that someone got by being there first. I bet there is some out there, you know. And then if you find some, how does that weigh up to all the other things? Is it very uncommon? Is it very frequent? Because then you can apply that. If it turns out actually it's really frequent, maybe it's more likely you apply it to this situation. What's the plan for storage? Shoe system or a bunch of chests? I've already built my storage system for the season and I'm sticking with it. It's going to be great. At the moment, I'd honestly be more concerned of how preventable gambling is becoming in everything. Oh, my dude, Thegley, that is a topic right there, right? I've been following CoffeeZilla on his Vodzilla channel, and he keeps putting a spotlight on gambling. And the latest one is like being able to gamble your credit card debt. Oh my god! If anyone out there, any one of you in chat ever thinks about gambling money and stuff, I'm probably not going to go into the discussion of why you shouldn't right now, but if I could just be a force of influence, if you're going to be like, I'm just going to do what X does. I'm going to do what X says, okay? I don't gamble any money at all. To be fair though, I do own some crypto. And some people think that's gambling. That's fair enough. But yeah, don't gamble your money, please. Just don't. Just stay away from it. Stay away from that whole ideology of, oh, well, I could win it big. There's a reason why these massive profitable companies are doing gambling. It's because they make money off of it. And when they make money off of it, that means there's losers. And the losers, most of the time, are the people that play. And this whole thing about being able to gamble your credit card debt is mental. Absolutely mental. Yo, Cowboy Chords, thank you for gifting subs to Mazia Media 1999. We got Obited Kenobi, Special Keng, Zycon 00, and Simos. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to say thanks in the chat to Cowboy Chords. Appreciate your subscription, my dude, 6 months, and gifted subs. Very generous of you. Right, I think it's time to rest this one a little bit. Switch over to that one. Very good. Spending my gambling money on gifted subs instead. That's a better way to do it, my dude. Thank you, thank you. I'm slightly biased with my answer, but yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, maybe I will talk a little bit more about it. I don't know. Is anyone out there into gambling? Let's hear the flip side. What crypto am I holding? There's 3 that I have, Cardano, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. I got into Cardano because I was listening to the guy who runs it talk about it. And he just seemed like a really bright, intelligent guy, and I liked all these initiatives that he had trying to bring financial markets to like third world countries and stuff, and using the cryptocurrency to enable people that like have trouble with being able to get money and transfer it and stuff. And it all sounded really good, but then after a while I was like, I'm only listening to just him talk about it, and he's the guy who runs it, and everything he's doing, he seems like a nice guy. May all be true, but like, I'm not also seeking out a counter narrative to all of this, so I stopped after a while with that one. Let's have a look. gacha gaming in it, but very managed. Even if you manage, I don't know specifically what gacha gaming is, but even if you gamble and you say you manage, it's like you are managing losses overall, right? That's the thing. You are managing losses. This is how the mathematics of gambling works. And, you know, you will lose, essentially. There's some things that do have an element of skill. You know, some games, some gambling things have an element of skill. That's fair enough. But just remember, like, we tend to overestimate our own abilities a lot. And these environments, gambling environments, are designed to take the money away from us. Psychologically, you know. You play free gacha games. But thank God you're not poor, so you can't spend any money on them. Oh wait, I see what you're saying. I don't know what gacha games are then. And if you don't have money... Yeah, so someone says, like, in my experience, people who like gambling are aware they lose, but they see it like it's a fun time. I hear that argument so much, and it's just like... There's all this discussion about how gambling ruins people's lives and gets them in debt and stuff. And so the whole like, oh, but it's fun. You know, smoking's fun. Don't clip that. I don't know. Like, there's things that can seem good in the moment and bad in the long run. It just, to me, it's not worth rolling those dice at all. Like, I don't have a great argument against it if you find it really fun, because, you know, going to a football match is fun and you have to spend money on a ticket. So I get that, but, like, it's something where you're kind of rolling the dice on it becoming a bigger problem. Pickaxe durability. Yeah, pickaxes have durability. They have durability indeed. The house always wins in the end. You lose more than you gain. Exactly, yeah, yeah. Oh, very low, very low. Also, there's a big cave right here. I think for now we'll try and keep it kind of cordoned off a little, but we'll go in there and light that up eventually. Right, I think that right there will do for now. That is clearly a big warehouse-sized redstone area, right? We'll probably make it a bit bigger with time. Right, and let's now finish the recording and save that replay. Nice. Let's go repair some tools. Yeah, we got Malling Show subscribing and gifting a sub to MCO180. Thank you so much for gifting a sub, my dude. You have reminded me. Excuse me. I need to drink some water quickly. You have reminded me to let you know that all subscribers here on the channel, gifted, Amazon Prime or regular, get access to our Discord server and our Minecraft server too, which is like the equivalent of a Patreon server or whatever. Today we are checking out one Creepy Creeper and their base Salvation, and I've been here before from the big tour that we did at the end of July, so this will probably jog my memory and we will see even more of the stuff that there is to see. But this is where we get a little bit of inspiration from our community, and we take a moment to check them out and showcase what they've been up to. Oh yeah, I love this place. This is great. This is great. This reminded me of season 6 of Hermitcraft a little bit. This is a really great build style, just like clean, simple, effective. You can scale it up. You can just keep building. And yeah, last time I was here, there was loads of this, and I'm guessing there's probably more now. Ooh, we got like some nether biomes down there. Very modern. You like the colors? Is unexplainably abnormal. Yeah, really good pick of colors. Cyan and purple. And then you've got your greys and your whites together here. Really cool stuff. Reception! Peggy Sue! Oh, that's great. That's great. We've got another one over here. Jack. Jack's hanging out, looking out the window right now. The train below is scrumptious so far, says Cowboy Chords. Let's have a look. So yeah, we visited this base back in July, and look at this, like, chains to the ground. It's like they're trying to leave. Like gravity is working in the other direction, and they're going up, 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 up. Is this water, by the way? This is water. It just... Can you... Oh, you can go in it to get up. That's cool. That's super cool. Got some farms up here. Yeah, this is something I thought about recently. When you grow crops in a row, they grow slightly faster. Also, I bet there's a chunk border here. Oh, is that not the right button? Oh, there we go. There we go. Yep, chunk border. Chunk border. I wonder if they're all to get up. Maybe some of these are to get down. Yep, that one's to get down. Very cool stuff. Now, let's check out the landscape down below, which has been transformed into some sort of nether region. Look at this. Crazy. We've got some sea lantern structures. We've got a ravine with some glass to give that fade effect. Oh, the portals are interesting too. Oh, they're not actually portals. I was thinking, where do they link up to? There's quite a few of them. Very cool stuff. Got little glowstone markers, and then we've got the warped stuff over here. Sorry, that's the crimson. That's the warped. Yeah, really cool to see the area down below expand, because last time we just saw what was up top, if I recall correctly. Oh, a lava lake. It's awesome. Is this spectator? I'm in creative mode. I come on. This server is survival, by the way. It is survival with a few little extras that don't require you to have mods. For example, we have dirt slabs on the server. And there's a lot of extra stuff as well. Like there's whole lore things that the community have created. Extras. I mean, well, you know, like... I did push for these sorts of things. The original concept of this server, because it started with me doing a series where I played on here, was to push vanilla to new places. And that tradition has continued. This, by the way, this is the portal that takes you to the communal area. So everyone gets to build in the communal areas together, right? And then all of these different places, we were here not so long ago, they take you to other people's like main base. So you can have a communal base of everyone, and then you can have a main base. Okay, I saw something like pop in and out. It's just shulker boxes, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was Creepy Creeper Space. Hope it gave you some inspiration. Really cool build concept. Love to see them continue with it on such a large scale. And that was our little tour of an LPMT base today. Remember what I said, any type of subscription gets access. So if you have even been gifted one, just ask in the chat. They will help you hook up your account and join. And peeps, we've had loads of people signing up and joining the community. It's been awesome to see it grow. And if you're one of those peeps, thanks for joining. There's my beacon beam. Let's go repair these tools. Let's go repair these tools. The Pixel says, big fan of floating islands. I don't think I've ever done that type of base. Have I? I've never done a floaty island base. One of these days, maybe. Who knows? I'm always torn. There's always like too many ideas and not enough time. Has anyone accidentally leaked this server IP to Hermitcraft? Yeah, no one knows it's ip.hermitcraft.com. No one knows. Let's go over here. Hermitcraft Season 29. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild that it's gone on for so long. It's whitelisted as well, says Thegley. Is it? I don't remember turning the whitelist on. That's unfortunate. You go through there, you have to turn around. That's unfortunate. How does it feel to have been apart since season 1? It feels great. Like, it's just absolutely amazing. You know? There's railings! Yeah, we now got railings, thank goodness. Ah, noisy! Noisy in my eardrum. Every season of Hermitcraft, when this gets built, it's always a 3x2 killing chamber. And a bunch of them get stuck at the back, and so... Like, when you swipe, you only get the front row. It annoys me. But then again, I never built the Enderman farm. I think I built the Enderman farm one season. Like, maybe season 2 or 3 I built it. But not since then. I wish you could stuff like this on Bedrock, as in put tools into offhand as well. Yeah, doesn't Bedrock, like, not have offhand? Yeah, these Endermen keep hitting me, man. It's not cool. Not cool, dude. Right, now you're the one that should go up there. Is that Silk Touch? That's Fortune. Got to remember to swap those around correctly, you know? Limited items, but it does have it. Ah, okay. Only for totems and shields. Interesting. Shield and a few other pointless things. Yeah. Minecraft likes pointless things. Nautilus shells and arrows. Interesting. Here's an idea. What if there was another slot over here on the right, but you could never access it? It just appears, and you can put arrows in it. Like you can't use scrolling. Actually, to be fair, you can't do that for your offhand, but like an arrow slot would be pretty cool. Phasmo, you re-downloaded Twitch, more live Hermitcraft here. Nice. You've been stuck on the TCG add-on for hours. Oh, so glad to hear it, man. The TCG add-on is terrific, isn't it? It's terrific. Have some of that. Okay, so fortune and those things go in. That's all we need to do here, really. Mending or infinity on bow? I usually go with mending. This time I've gone with infinity. What is the helmet that I have? I'm a copper golem, man. It's just a copper golem helmet. Neverite tools, but copper armor is crazy. I don't think it is, because the way I play, I don't really put myself in hostile positions very often. So I felt like, you know, I needed to max out my tools so I can get stuff done. A sword makes sense because you're more effective. It's like one thing to be more effective at damaging. But like, if you want to avoid damage in this game, you got a shield, right? I should probably put that back over here. You can cheese it, you can put blocks in front of yourself, you know, you can stay away from mobs a lot of the time. And it's not like I'm the sort of player that goes wandering into the deep dark for fun. So it makes sense to me that you maybe don't need to put too much of an emphasis on armor. Ah yes, I set my spawn over here. You just need to dodge the danger, says Bear. Exactly, just dodge it. Just dodge that danger. Oh, look, a little bit of danger. Going to dodge over. I'm dodging, I'm weaving. Weave away from your worries. How many farms do I have in total? I mean, at the moment, hardly any. I've been playing... I don't know, sort of different from usual. Usually I rush into getting loads of farms going, and this time I've been a bit more focused on the copper golems and the theme, the theatrics, you know, building things like Godot. Who, by the way, Godot doesn't have much of a backside or a side. So something I need to do over here at some point is come and revise the statue. I might even change out some of the tough blocks and stuff. But I got to work on its shape. And like, look, it just kind of ends back here. Huh. Oh, I failed the jump. Huh. Oh, I failed it again. Huh. There we go. Yeah. That's the back. So, something will change there at some point, I'm sure. Ah! X, I remember you saying on last stream about how you like music you get exposed to multiple times. Completely agree now. Oh, nice. Did you go experiment? Like pick something you're not too keen on and just like leave it on or something like that. It's true, right? It's true. You just need exposure to a lot of stuff a lot of the time. Typical hermit behavior, doing anything but the back of the build. Have I seen XB's statue? Yeah, it's of a copper golem, right? Should I just say it's of me? He built a statue of me, I know, yeah. Oh, XB, building a statue of me. Hey, it rhymes. Is that why people stop waking up to their alarm clock? Are you making a joke about hearing it a lot and liking it? Okay, what are we doing next? Because we have something specific to do next. It involves that. It involves those. Yeah, this is very, very important, people. Let's now... Oh! We definitely saved the warehouse. I just don't remember... I don't remember starting another one, but hey, I'll start one now. We saved the warehouse. And now we've got loads of space over here for shenanigans. Y'all ready for some shenanigans? How many do I need to do? 17. Let's do some shenanigans, you know? You have different sounds for your alarms, so every day is a new sound, so you don't get used to it. That's super interesting. Yeah, give us a topic while we place down all these blocks. Chat, what do you want to talk about? And by what do you want to talk about? What I really mean is what do I want to talk about? Y'all are like my therapy in a way. You just let me get whatever's on my mind off. Do I draw? I don't. You know, drawing I think would be really nice, but I dedicate my time to other things. Oh wow, I placed those really quick. Huh, I thought that would take me a lot longer for some reason. Have I ever been a band? No, I haven't. Strips for new Sorry, you want me to strip for a new streamer? No, tips for new streamers. My tip is to just get going. Just do. Whatever your setup is, if you've got a terrible microphone, if it's slow, whatever, just get going. Get the ball rolling. It's not about perfecting what it is you're going to do. It's about figuring it out and learning the ropes. You're going to learn by doing. Just get started. Just get started. Am I pro or anti sand duping? I think if you're doing it in your own worlds, like it's up to you. I think it would be cool if Mojang maybe added like a sort of way to farm sand. The only thing I think is a little bit sad is one of the things about this game is that you used to have to go 2 places to get certain materials, and that was the only way you could get them. And it got tedious, right? It got tedious. It was like, you know, all these different materials you have to go and gather, and so we got farms. They gave us a way to farm stuff. That's good. That's great. I like that. But then when you lose all of the gathering and everything can be farmed, I feel like you lose a little bit of charm there. So I'm a bit torn on the sand one. It's like the last one we got left. Do you know what I mean? Right, here comes the fun bit. Oh yeah, let's get rid of that. How many uses does shears have? Ah! I'll be opening chests now. This is weird. I'm just saying, this is weird. This is a weird game we're playing right now. Changing poses, we're making noises. We're opening chests. Get out of my way! Ah! Nice! What an absolute racket these lot make. What an absolute racket. Right, now we start collecting stuff. Start picking it all back up immediately. This will make a funny little time lapse. Because I can continuously do this and more stuff will keep turning. Oh, that guy turned. God, they make a right racket. Fellas, calm down. I think we got this. I think when they step off the chests, I think maybe when they're on the chests, they're not on a full block, so they can't turn to a statue. Because look at this, we've got like a whole row of them where they just like step off the chest and then they're a statue. That's kind of interesting. And they'd want to stand on the chest because that's what their AI is telling them to do, right? Their pathfinder. Look, right there, 2 of them. Oh no, they didn't turn into statues. Never mind. Never mind me then. Never mind me and my theories. Yeah, you got loads of them here. This is just weird. I'm sort of hypnotized by all the noise and the constant breaking and changing. It's starting to quiet down now, though. It is starting to quiet down. Sometimes I can't tell what's what, though. Woo! God, they're all turning. They're all turned. No, there's one left. There's one left. One guy. One guy left. And it turns. Look at that. One continuous thing. I just held down click for the entire time. That was weird. That was super weird. I tell thee. Proper bow, I tell thee. That were proper bow. Wasn't it, Kez? Alright. What's with the pipe organ music? I love pipe organ music, don't you? Can't a homie just listen to some pipe organ music while they grind in Minecraft? Jeez. Right, let's save that replay. Golems. I should have called it statues. Oh well. But hey, guess what? I need even more of those, so I need to go get more jack-o'-lanterns. It's like I need a pumpkin farm next. Oh boy, I need a pumpkin farm. Infrastructure. Did I leave like an ender chest around here somewhere? I keep leaving ender chests around and like, look, see, I'm down to like 2 left. I feel like I've left one somewhere. But we've just been in this. There it is. There it is. Okay, I found it. Well, actually, I need to open it. Let's go grab that. Right, back in there you go. Toccata in fugue in D minor on repeat. It's a good one. It's a good one, isn't it? It's a good one. You're scared of whatever project may need so many golems. It's nothing to be scared about. Nothing to be scared about. It's not that kind of project. It's a good project. It annoys you that all the little statues aren't the same in your inventory. Yeah, you know, they decided to let you keep the pose, and that creates more inventory clutter. But I'm not sure it was entirely necessary. I can imagine it being the kind of thing where if they all defaulted to a certain pose, then someone would be like, it should remember what pose it is, you know? But I don't know, because inventory clutter's an issue. My mind tends to think, this could be better. But I don't think it's worth worrying about too much. I gotta make an automated version of this now. I've just decided it needs to happen. Can't be doing it manually all the time. Plus there's that fear of like accidentally breaking other stuff around here. Because this is part of a beautification project. My stretch goal for today's stream, and I do have stretch goals, was to come out here and do a little bit more work on the path, specifically over there in the corner, but I don't think we're going to have time for that one today. Let's get the last of these jack-o'-lanterns. No, not jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkins. That's the one, that's the one. Alright chat, this is where I'm going to wrap up my stream today. I hope you've been entertained, had a good time hanging out. I'll be back again same time tomorrow, but probably a little bit earlier. So if you want more, come back tomorrow. But yeah, that's the end of my stream. Let's change the music slide. Do that one. Yeah, because, you know, there's HC merch and there's things happening in the future. Right now, though, I'm going to go find someone to Riggedy Raid. What should we go for today? Let's go for random Minecraft channel, perhaps. What's, okay. I think I've raided that person before. I'm trying to pick something out here. Let's go Minecraft. Why is that not working? There we go. Twitch be twitchy, I guess. Alright, I'm going to send you to a random channel. Hope you enjoy what you find. I'm going to bounce. Thank you, everyone. Take care. And have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. That's the end of the stream.